Hello, everyone. Hope all of you are doing great. And in today's video, we are going to discuss lesson 13.2, which is all about points on a line segment. So the first question that we have over here from the workbook is question 3. And it says to you, the diagram shows the line segment OC. Cards H to M show the fraction of the way along OC. Cards I to VI show the coordinates. So here we see here the fraction of the line. This is the fraction of the line, and here are the coordinates. We need to match them. So let's do this. For example, over here we have H, which is 1/8. Okay, so 1/8 of the line. First semester, we need to determine the coordinates. So here we got the coordinates 0, 0, and here we got C, which is actually 24, 24. What is 1/8 of the line? So 1/8 of the line means actually, or shows 1/8 of the difference between the x's, which is 24, plus x1. X1 is 0, mister. I'm not going to add it, but just if I plus 0, that's going to mean nothing. So it is 1/8 of the difference, which is 1/8 of 24, plus x1, which is 0. So 1/8 of 24, I'm going to divide by 8, and then you multiply the answer. So 24 divided by 8 is 3. 3 times 1 is just 3. Next, also the same thing, 1/8 of 24 again. Oh, so it's 3, 3, mister. Exactly. So this is triple I. So H is actually triple I. 1/4 of the line, which means 1/4 of 24, that is going to be 6. 1/4 of 24 is going to be 6 plus x1, which is 0. We agreed خلاص in this question. It is always going to, adding x1 or adding y1 is not going to make a difference because they are zeros. So it's here 1/4 of the line, 1/4 of 24 is just 6. It's going to give you 6, 6, which is here I. 3/4 of the line. So 3/4 of 24. 3/4 of 24. 24 divided by 4 is 6 times 3 is going to give you 18, 18, which is going to be VI. 1/2 of the line, that's 12, 12, which is just I. 5/8 of the line, 5/8 of 24. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 3 times 5 is going to give you 15. So it is going to be here 15, which is V, 15, 15. M, which is 3/8 of the line. 3/8 of 24 is going to give you here 3 times 3. 24 divided by 8 is 3 times 3 is going to give you 9. So 9, 9, which is I, V. Now we finished question 3. Question 4, the diagram below shows the points omega 0, 0 and 3, 4, and B 6, 8. So as A is 3, 4 and B is 6, 8. If you notice over here, they're telling you that the points to continue along the line equally spaced. So they are equally spaced. Completing the diagram here, or completing the table, you're going to find that the first letter, which is A, you just multiply 1 by 3. So the space, you're going to find that A, which is the x-axis, you're going to find here what happens to A? Every time if you want to increase the letter, in X, you add to it 3. But every time you want to go up in Y, you're adding it by 4. So adding it by 4, then adding it by 4 again, then adding it by 4 again, and so on. So you're multiplying actually the first by 3. So if you notice here, it is the number or the position of the letter in the alphabet. It is the first letter, multiply it by 3, it will give you the x-axis, which is 3. Multiply it by 4, it will give you the y-axis, which is 4. So the second letter B, multiply it by 2, and multiply by 3 to get the x-axis. So second letter, so 2 times 3 for the x-axis, multiply by 4 for the y-axis. So it is 6, 8. Let's continue. The third letter, which is C. So, mister, what are we supposed to do? We're multiplying it by 3 all the time. So it is 3 times 3, which is going to give you what? 9, mister. So just write 9. They're not giving you enough space for the calculations. So I'm going to write over here 9. The third place here is going to be 9. And here, this is going to be what? I'm multiplying it by 4, and mister, 3 times 4 is just 12. So if you notice that the pattern over here, we're just moving in what? In threes for the x-axis. We're using a table 3. So this is actually the next question. The x coordinates are the numbers in the what times table? Is in the 3 times table. Look, 3, 6, 9. So the next is going to be 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. And the next one over here, the y coordinate, look at this, multiply the position number of the letter in the alphabet by 3. That's for the x-axis. But the y coordinates are the numbers in the 4 times table. To work out the y coordinate of any letter, multiply the position number of the letter in the alphabet by, it's 4 times table, so you multiply by 4. Here, this is 4, it became 8, became 12, then 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. So what is the x-axis? What are the coordinates in? It's 9, 12, and here is 12, 16, and then here 15, 20, then 18, 24, then we've got 21, 28, then we've got 24, 32, and the last one is 27, 36. Just getting the x-axis and getting here the y-axis. Question 5. 1/5 of OG. 1/5 of OG, mister, it is 1/5 of the difference. The difference here is 20 between the two x's. 1/5 of 20 plus x1, which is just 0, mister. Also here that adding x1 is not going to make any difference. So it's just 1/5 of 20, which is going to be 4. 1/5 of the 25 is going to be 5. So it is 4, 5. I got 1/5 of the difference in that between the x's. It gave me 4. 1/5 of the difference between the y's. It gave me 5. And Mr. You didn't add x1. If I add x1, it's 0. It's not going to change anything. If you add y1 also, it's 0. It's not going to change anything. That 3/5 of the way along OG. 3/5 OG, still 0, 0. Okay, fine. So 3/5 of the 20 and 3/5 of 25. That's the difference. So here is going to be 4 times 3 is going to be 12. Here is going to be 5 times 3 is going to be 15. So it's 12, 15, which is this one. 1/6 of OH. So it is 1/6 of 18. Of 18. And here 1/6 of 12, which is going to give you here 3, 2. So 3, 2. 5/6 of OH. So 5/6 of 18 and 5/6 of 12, which is going to give you what? 18 divided by 6 is 3 times 5 is 15. 12 divided by 6 is 2 times 5 is 10. So 15, 10. Omega is the point 0, 0, and A is the point 58. Points A and B are equally spaced along the same line such that the distance omega A is equal to the distance AB. What are the coordinates of point B? All right, just a second. Let's just imagine the line. They said spaced, equally spaced in a line. They said the first point over here, which is omega, they said it is what? 0, 0. Then they said A is what? A is what? 5, 8. And they said that the space from this to this is equal to the space from A to B. So it is going to be equal to, it's going to be equal to, here I'm adding a 5 to the X, adding an 8 to the Y. So it's going to be 10, 16. It's going to be over here 10, 16. So that's B. What are the coordinates of B? 10, 16, mister. I added a 5 to the X, then add another 5 to the X. I added here a 8 to the Y, then add another 8 to the Y because they are equally spaced. So it is 10, 16. C is the next point along the same line such that distance BC is equal to distance omega A. Good. And AB. What are the coordinates of point C? The same thing exactly. They're requesting from you here C. They're requesting point C. So I'm going to add here the 5 to the x. So it is going to be 15. Add 8 here to the 16 is going to become 24. So 15, 24. The points continue along the line, equally spaced. Each point is labeled with the letter of the alphabet in order from A to Z. Show that point E has coordinates 25, 40. Okay, if we count here point E, you're going to find that point E is what? You're going to find that point E is actually what? Which letter? We got A, B, C, D, then E, right? It is the fifth one. It is the fifth letter. So you're going to need to multiply by 5. It is going to be here 25. And then the 8 also by 5 is going to give you 40. So it is 25, 40. 25, 40 exactly. Look at this. You multiply the x, you multiply by 5, and you multiply this also by 5. So it is going by 8, I mean. So it is going to give you exactly 25, 40. D is going to be 20, 32. And then you got E is going to be 25, 40. This is how you can show it. But definitely didn't have enough space to show you the rest of the line. What are the coordinates of point T? They're giving you a tip in the book. If you just noticed on the right side, there is a box telling you that T is the 20th letter. So what are we supposed to do, mister? I'm going to need to do here 20 multiplied by 5 to find the x, because every time the x is going up by 5. And here you're going to need to multiply 20 times 8. So it's going to give you here 100 exactly. And here is 160. So letter T is going to be on 100 and 160. The last question, which is write an expression for the coordinates of the nth letter. The nth letter, that means you're multiplying n by 5 to find the x, and we multiply y by 8 to find the y. The last, no, not really the last. O is the point 0, 0. J is the point 42, 54. Points E, F, G, H, and I are equally spaced. So I have a line over here. And they're telling you the beginning here is O. And the end over here is J. And we've got here the points E, F, G, H, and I. So E, let's say E. We've got F. We've got G, H, and I. And then here we have the J. They're telling you that O is 0, 0. And J is 42, 54. So here, if you noticed, we have how many sections? The X, let's talk about the X. The X, what is happening to the X every time? And what is happening to the Y every time? Look at this. For the X's, it increased by 42, but 42 divided by what? How many parts? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. So it's 42 divided by 6, which is 7. So every time I'm adding a 7, and this here, the coordinates of E, F, G, H, I. So E, I'm adding every time a 7. So this is 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Now, what about the J? The J is actually 64. It jumped 64, but 64 divided by how many sections? 64 divided by 6 sections, which is going to give you what? Is it 6? It's 54, sorry. 54 divided by 6 sections, which is 9. Every time I'm adding a 9. So this is a 9, then 18, then 27, Then it is 36. Then after that, it is going to give you what? 50, 45. Just a second. I made a mistake in the table. We're jumping by nines, 9, 18, 27, 36. Then you got 45. And after that, the 54. Good? So let's read the questions right now. They're saying it to you, work out the coordinates of H. H is 28, 36. Here they're telling you in question 8 that C is 1, 1 and D is 10, 13, but they want 1/3 of the line. So we're going to get 1/3 of the difference between the two x's. The difference between the two x's is 9. So 1/3 of 9 plus x1, which is 1. 1/3 of the differences between the y's. Y is 1, y is 13. So 1/3 of the difference between the y's, which is 1/3 of 12, plus y1, which is 1. So it is going to give you what here? 1/3 of 9 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 1/3 of 12 is 9, is going to give you actually 4 exactly. 4 plus 1 is going to give you 5. This is how we show that E is going to be 4, 5. We've just shown it. The last question, they want 2/5 of the line. Work out the coordinates of H, which is 2/5 of the line. So I'm going to need here to find 2/5 of the difference. X is 2/5 of the difference between the x's, which is 5, plus x1, which is 2. Then you find the 2/5 of the difference. So the difference here is 3 and 18, which is going to be 15, plus y1, which is 3. Let's find it. 2/5 of 5, it's going to be 5 divided by 5 is 1, plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 2/5 of 15, 15 divided by 5 is 3, times 2 is 6. 6 plus 3 is going to give you 9. So it is 5, 9. Check your answer is correct by drawing a diagram. You can just draw the diagram and you divide it into parts, sections, into 5 sections. Here you go. The diagram, it starts at F, which is 2, 3, and ends at G, which is 7, 18. If you divide it into 5 sections, because they told you 2/5, so 5 sections, here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I divide it into 5 sections. You can add every time what? Here from the 2 to the 7 is 5. Every time I add 1. Look at the difference from 2 to 7. I added 5. Divided by 5 sections, so every time I'm adding 1. So this is going to be 3. This is going to be 4. This is going to be 5. This is going to be 6. But what about the y? From 3 to 18, from the beginning to the end, I added 15. But 15 divided by 5 sections, every time I'm adding a 3. So this was a 3. It becomes 6. Then here 9. Then here 12. Then here 15. And then it becomes 18 at the end. All right, they wanted the 2/5. 2/5 is here. This is the first 1/5. This is 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. So 2/5 is actually 4, 9. This is the end of the questions. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in another video.